In 1995, Waterworld was dubbed Hollywood's most expensive nightmare, but it was the cast that paid the ultimate price for its glitzy spectacle. 3 decades later, their fates are tragic. Some have quietly disappeared, while others have fallen into addiction to the point where you would hardly recognize them today. Let's discover their real names and pay tribute to the legacies they left us. Michael Jeter as Old Man Gregor. Michael Jeter was born on August 26, 1952 in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. In 1995, and at the age of 43, he played Old Man Gregor in the film Waterworld, an eccentric, yet frail but intelligent inventor who brought a unique character to the film. The character also reflects aspects of Jeter's own life, a talented artist who yearned to create while struggling with lifelong pain and illness. Behind the scenes, Jeter suffered from chronic stress. As a young man, he turned to alcohol and drugs as an escape from loneliness, which damaged his health and repeatedly threatened his career. Even after winning a Tony and an Emmy, he openly acknowledged his past addiction as a scar that never fully healed. Coming out in an age of prejudice added enormous pressure, forcing him to balance maintaining his artistic image with dealing with public scrutiny. In the midst of his career's highs with films like The Fisher King and The Green Mile, health tragedies struck. Jeter suffered from epilepsy and HIV, which he disclosed publicly in 1997. These illnesses were exhausting and disrupted his work, forcing him to take several medical leave. In his later years, although he appeared on Sesame Street as Mr. Noodle to entertain children, he silently endured physical pain, exhaustion, and long nights in bed. On March 30, 2003, Jeter died in the Hollywood Hills after suffering a seizure at the age of 50. His ashes were given to his partner of nearly a decade, Sean Blue. At his death, Jeter left behind an estimated net worth of $2 million, mostly from his acting career, leaving behind a legacy of a special artist who dared to be true to himself and turned even small roles into memorable moments for audiences. Dennis Hopper as Deacon Dennis Lee. Hopper was born on May 17, 1936 in Dodge City, Kansas. In 1995, at the age of 59, he appeared in the blockbuster Waterworld as Deacon, the brutal leader of the Smokers Gang and the main character's direct rival. This fierce, villainous role reflected Hopper himself, a talented artist living in chaos, with countless personal tragedies and pains. Hopper's youth was filled with promising beginnings alongside James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause and Giant. But Dean's sudden death and conflicts with director Henry Hathaway nearly ended Hopper's career for many years. He only really came back with Easy Rider, 1969, opposite Peter Fonda, a classic that cemented his legendary status. But success also brought its downsides. Hopper turned to alcohol and drugs, becoming a true rebel, lost in both his work and personal life. In real life, Hopper endured 5 failed marriages, including an 8-day affair with Michelle Phillips. Years of substance abuse led to a succession of legal troubles, including multiple arrests for DUI and drug possession. Despite his personal struggles, he retained his ability to portray unstable or rebellious characters, from Blue Velvet to the Hoosiers, channeling his own turmoil into a unique artistic medium. In 2009, Hopper was diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer, which quickly spread to his bones. While his health was failing, he also went through a contentious divorce from his 5th wife, Victoria Duffy. On May 29, 2010, he died in Los Angeles at the age of 74. Dennis Hopper left behind an estimated net worth of $40 million, including real estate in California and New Mexico, and a valuable art collection, closing a life of talent, fame, and personal suffering. Gerard Murphy was born on 14 October 1948 in Newry, Northern Ireland. In 1995, at the age of 47, he appeared in Waterworld as Nord, a cunning pirate and spy, a supporting character who helped to add levity to the film's chaotic world. In real life, however, Murphy was a dedicated performer, dedicating his life to the stage and Shakespearean roles. Starting his career at the Glasgow Citizens Theatre, he quickly became a key member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, making his mark with roles such as Hal in Henry IV and King Lear. Murphy's artistic journey, however, was not without its difficulties. Constantly playing emotionally demanding roles led to burnout and psychological pressure, too, while his film career never brought him the recognition that some of his contemporaries did. Murphy's personal life was largely private, but loneliness was palpable. He never married, had no children, and lived a life filled with art and endless touring. When prostate cancer struck in 2012, it quickly spread, compressing his spinal cord and severely debilitating him. Despite this, he resolutely returned to the stage in Samuel Beckett's Krapp's Last Tape, showing an artist channeling his own pain into his characters. On August 26, 2013, Gerard Murphy passed away in Cambridge at the age of 64 after a more than 2-year battle with cancer. He passed away quietly, leaving behind an estimated net worth of £500,000, largely due to his tireless work on stage and screen. Zakes Moke as Priam Zakes Magona Moke was born on August 5, 1934 in Johannesburg, South Africa. In 1995, at the age of 61, he appeared in Waterworld as Priam, a dignified supporting character who helped to define the film's chaotic world. Although he often played supporting roles in films, Moke was a major figure on stage, winning a Tony Award for Master Harold and The Boys. Moke's artistic path was not easy. Starting out as a saxophonist, he turned to acting when he teamed up with playwright Athol Fugard to form a theater troupe protesting social injustice in South Africa. Productions such as The Bloodknot and Bozeman and Lena were closely monitored by the apartheid government, leading to numerous arrests and surveillance. In 1969, Moke was forced to leave his homeland and go into exile in the United States to pursue his art and freedom, a decision that was liberating but also painfully far from home. In America, Moke became a familiar face on stage and screen, appearing in films such as Cry Freedom and A Dry White Season, as well as popular television series such as Law and Order, Oz, and The West Wing. However, his personal life was not always smooth. He went through a failed first marriage before remarrying, staying with his second wife until his death. His health deteriorated in his old age as he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and eventually a stroke, forcing him to step away from the stage where he had once been a celebrated icon. On September 11, 2009, Zakes Moke died in Las Vegas at the age of 75, following complications from a stroke. He left behind an estimated net worth of $1 million, largely from his prolific stage career and years of dedication to the arts. Kevin Costner as the Mariner. Kevin Costner was born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California, and grew up in Compton. In 1995, at the age of 40, he took on the role of the Mariner in the ambitious but controversial blockbuster Waterworld, a project that would become both a landmark and a career-making storm. Off-screen, Costner's personal life was far from smooth. His first marriage to Cindy Silva lasted 16 years and seemed to last but ended in 1994 amid rumors of infidelity during the filming of Waterworld. Silva left with 3 children and a whopping $80 million in damages. The divorce left deep emotional scars and exposed Costner to intense media scrutiny, at a time when he was struggling financially due to the film's troubled production. After years of turmoil, Costner found happiness with Christine Baumgartner, a model and handbag designer. They married in 2004 and have 3 children, but even that chapter ended in heartbreak. Christine filed for divorce in 2023, and the divorce was finalized in February 2024. 2 failed marriages, coupled with the relentless pressure from Hollywood, left a lasting void in the actor's personal life. Despite these setbacks, Kevin Costner remains a major figure in the film industry, continuing to produce and star in projects like Horizon and An American Saga 2024. At 70 and so, he focuses on his family and his career, while managing an estimated $250 million net worth, which includes a sprawling ranch in Colorado and coastal properties in California. Jean Tripplehorn as Helen. Helen Jean Tripplehorn was born on June 10, 1963 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In 1995, at the age of 32, she appeared in Waterworld as Helen, a strong-willed woman who braves danger to protect her children in search for the legendary dry land. This role cemented Tripplehorn's reputation as a serious and thoughtful actress, a departure from her previous supporting roles in Basic Instinct and The Firm. However, her rising film career was overshadowed by personal tragedy. In 1994, just before she was due to travel to England to film 4 weddings and a funeral, her mother died suddenly before her eyes. The shock forced Jean to leave the project, depriving her of a major international breakthrough. Not long after, she also turned down the role of Mia Wallace in Pulp Fiction, allowing Uma Thurman to take the iconic role. These missed opportunities remain a bitter link between talent and fate. In her personal life, Tripplehorn had a tumultuous 6-year relationship with Ben Stiller, which ended in disappointment despite their engagement. Stability came in 2000 when she married actor Leland Orser, and the birth of their son, August Ottoen, in 2002, provided a solid foundation. Alongside her family life, she remained committed to her craft, from Broadway to television, resurrecting her reputation with shows like Big Love and Criminal Minds. In 2025, Jean Tripplehorn, 62, continues to act in independent films and television, while also devoting time to family and charity work. Her estimated net worth is around $8 million, largely thanks to her film, television, and real estate career in New York and Los Angeles. Annie Costner as Coral Island Girl. Annie Costner was born on April 15, 1984, in Los Angeles County, California. In 1995, at the age of 11, Annie appeared in Waterworld as the Atoll Girl, a small but memorable role as the bright-eyed daughter of her father, Hollywood star Kevin Costner. However, being born into fame did not mean a carefree childhood. Annie witnessed the breakdown of her parents' marriage at a young age, leaving her with a sense of emptiness and the urge to forge her own path, away from her father's legendary shadow. Growing up in the public eye brought constant pressure and a nagging fear of being compared or dismissed because of her family's reputation. Taking a quieter path, Annie turned to documentary filmmaking. In 2014, she co-founded Sound Off Films with Adrian Hall, producing socially and environmentally conscious projects. Unlike her father's blockbusters, Annie's work, including Racing Extinction, is subtle yet impactful. Amidst her career, her personal life has also experienced ups and downs, eventually finding stability with Dr. Danny Cox, whom she married in 2016. By 2025, at the age of 41, Annie Costner has become an independent documentary producer, living a peaceful life with her husband and family. Her journey may not be as glamorous as Hollywood movies, but it has given her resilience, purpose, and an estimated net worth of $1 million. Robert Lasardo as Smitty. Robert Lasardo was born on September 20, 1963, Salden in Brooklyn, New York. In 1995, at the age of 32, he appeared in Waterworld as Smitty, a ruthless member of the Smokers Gang, bringing a rough and menacing quality to the film. With his gaunt face, tattooed body, and piercing eyes, Lasardo quickly became a familiar face for tough and edgy Hollywood villains. Before becoming an actor, Lasardo endured a tough childhood in the military. He served 4 years in the Navy, spending 2 years training military dogs in the Aleutian Islands, experiencing isolation, harsh weather, depression, and widespread alcoholism. After returning to civilian life, he attended the Stella Adler School of Acting and began his career with the film China Girl, 1987, followed by roles in Hard to Kill and Out for Justice. Despite Steven Seagal's mentorship, Lasardo faced harsh realities, a turbulent personal life, and the constant temptations of drugs that pulled him from stability. His full-body tattoos, a remnant of his rebellious past, became his signature, securing him unconventional roles while also being associated with criminals, murderers, and pimps. Off-screen, his personal life was also turbulent, with several failed marriages and relationships. Still, he persevered, appearing in CSI, Miami, Nip Tuck, The X-Files, and indie thrillers like The Human Centipede 3 and Autopsy. In 2025, at age 62, Lasardo continues to act in independent films and television and is involved in veterans work. Living quietly with his family in California, his estimated net worth is around $500,000. Modest compared to many of his peers, but a reflection of a life of hardship, resilience, and a relentless dedication to both art and survival. Jack Black as Pilot. Thomas Jacob. Jack Black was born on August 28, 1969, in Santa Monica, California. At the age of 26, he appeared in the film Waterworld, 1995, in a supporting role, marking one of his first significant steps onto the big screen. At the time, Black was still finding his footing in Hollywood, struggling from supporting roles to leading roles. Behind his humor and outgoing personality was a troubled youth. At 14, Jack experimented with cocaine and lived in fear of its dangerous effects. Tragedy deepened in 1991 when his older brother, Sawyer Howard, died of AIDS, leaving a void that could never be filled. These losses have shaped him, forged painful maturity, and forged his resilience to both external and internal pressures. Black faced even more challenges in his personal life. His nearly decade-long relationship with actress Laura Caitlinger ended in heartbreak. Stability came when he reunited with singer Tanya Hayden, daughter of jazz legend Charlie Hayden. They married in 2006 and have 2 sons. However, balancing a busy career with family responsibilities often brought stress and anxiety. Black credits his family as the foundation that has kept him grounded amid the chaotic pressures of fame. Now 56, Jack Black remains a vibrant presence in the entertainment industry, acting, voice acting, and performing with a resilient D-style. His net worth is estimated at $50 million, which includes a luxury mansion in Los Angeles and a car collection. Behind the scenes, Jack Black is not only a comedic icon, but also a testament to how pain and loss, when faced with courage, can become a source of enduring strength and success. Neil Juntali as Hellfire Gunner. Neil Juntali was born on December 20, 1959 Southgate in Chicago, Illinois. He began his film career as Eddie Caputo in Child's Play, 1988, and in 1995, at the age of 36, he appeared in Waterworld as Hellfire Gunner, a brutal henchman in the Smokers Gang. Despite only being a supporting role, Juntali convincingly portrayed a brutal image that highlighted the film's oppressive and tense atmosphere. Juntali's life was full of challenges. Growing up in a politically active family, Juntali faced early trauma. A strict father and a grueling military career as a translator in South Korea left him disciplined but deeply scarred by loneliness and alienation. Returning to Chicago, he found refuge in theater, acting and writing edgy plays that reflected the darker undercurrents of society. However, the pressures of artistic pursuit often led to psychological distress, and moving to Los Angeles to pursue film did not ease his personal struggles. Failed marriages and broken relationships led him to become increasingly withdrawn, leading a more reclusive life than most of his peers. Although film roles, including The Shawshank Redemption, Memphis Belle, and appearances on Seinfeld, brought him recognition, they did not fully heal his emotional wounds. He returned frequently to Chicago, clinging to the stage as a source of balance, performing in the physically demanding play His Owner, which brought him acclaim but also left him exhausted. By 2025, Juntali was 66 years old, living quietly in Chicago, occasionally working on smaller art projects. After more than 4 decades of dedication, his estimated net worth was around $1 million, not extravagant, but reflecting a life devoted to independent art, full of sacrifice, suffering, and the subtle aura of achievement. Tina Majorino as Enola Tina Marie Majorino was born on February 7, 1985 in Westlake Village, California. In 1995, at the age of 10, she played Enola in Waterworld, the mysterious tattooed girl who becomes the key character in the entire journey to find dry land. With her big, expressive eyes and heartfelt performances, Tina quickly became one of Hollywood's most memorable child actors of the 1990s decade. However, her early success came with a heavy burden. After starring roles in Andre, Karina, and Alice in Wonderland, Tina felt her childhood fading away under the glare of fame. As a teenager, she decided to give up acting, seeking out the simple life experiences she believed were necessary for peace of mind and proper growth. This choice, while freeing her from the constant pressure of fame, also put her career on hold for several years. Tina returned to the screen in 2004 with Napoleon Dynamite, making an instant impact as Deb and opening a new chapter in her career. She continued to find success with roles on Veronica Mars, Big Love, Grey's Anatomy, and True Blood. Despite these opportunities, she has remained private about her personal life, remaining single and focused entirely on her acting career. In interviews, she has spoken openly about dealing with anxiety and stress, finding balance through meditation, therapy, and setting clear boundaries. In 2025, Tina Majorino turns 40. 3 decades later, she continues to work on smaller film and television projects while also devoting her time to music and personal creative pursuits. With an estimated net worth of $1.5 million, which includes a home in Los Angeles, Tina is a testament to a child star who overcame the pressures of early fame and forged her own path in the creative world.